Good morning. Okay, ladies, good morning. If I must be in the heat in the state of Pennsylvania, I'd rather be here with you. Beautiful and powerful women. Beautiful and powerful women. And this is truly an honor to have been asked to speak before you today. So, the first jail in the city of Philadelphia was in 1683. In 335 years, as Deputy Executive Secretary Smil stated, we've come a long way, baby. That didn't happen by chance. I was planted in the field of foster care, being a foster care social worker. And the goal was either reunification or adoption. And at that time, children were aging up out of the system. And my first experience with corrections was to go to the Philadelphia jail to facilitate a supervised visit. And I said, wow, this is where the parent is. I had given my all to the children, healthcare visits, foster care visits, sibling visits, and now it was the important visit. And that visit was with the mother who was incarcerated. And that day changed my life. As I drove home with the little girl in the car, she cried. There was nothing I could do to soothe her, because when she saw her mother, she would stand up and sit back down every time a woman would come out in an orange jumpsuit. And I just watched her with expectation. When her mother came out, she took off and she greeted her and wouldn't let her go. Mom had to walk her to the chair, and they sat and they had a powerful visit. On that ride home, it changed my life because it reinforced the importance of why we do what we do in the field of corrections. It's not just about that woman or man that is incarcerated. It's their family unit and everyone that's impacted by incarceration. That child cried. The only thing I could do at the end was say, "You want to go to McDonald's?" Yes. And she was able to get it together, and that was my means of helping her cope with an incarcerated mother. Throughout my career in the department has always been in social work, treating people, as my sister said, with dignity and respect, working alongside every single discipline in the department, behavioral health, medical, education, uniform staff, treating people with respect, allowing them to maintain their dignity in a situation that they would choose otherwise if given another chance. I didn't say a second chance, another chance. Some years later, going through the ranks, always treating people with dignity and respect. When I was appointed commissioner, I had to come in that door owning I was a woman. Do not shy away from being a woman in a position of authority. Don't shy away from it. Own it. When we walk into these rooms, in the back of your mind and that little still voice, I'm a woman. Yeah, own it. You didn't just get plopped there. You worked your way to these positions. You have everything you need to make the right call. Make the right call as a woman. Don't try to change. You have innate skills inside of you. And as the commissioner, when I was appointed commissioner, the first female and then African American female, that voice, Blanche. What? Who said that? That voice instilled from me since a little girl. You can do whatever you want to do. I heard it so crystal clear that day. Everything you did in this job across all those numbers of years, you have what it takes. Own being a woman. Maintain your authority. I don't have to bust into the room and be 8 feet tall. But in this package that I inhabit right now is a skill set First of all, owning your gender role when you have these positions. You can't shy away from it. Secondly, know your vision. Vision is normally given to the leader of a particular shift, department, facility, or overall arching responsibility. As a woman, you have to cultivate that vision and share it with your team. Everyone is not going to get the vision. You're going to come up against some weeds. We've always done it this way. That bleeding heart social worker just letting everybody out. Times have changed in 335 years. For such a time as this, I've been appointed to the position as a woman with a vision, and now I have the responsibility of cultivating the roses alongside the thorns. But guess what? I have a skill set. And that skill set is building the team and never shying away. And how do I build that? I build a support team. I can't do the work alone. So I pick roses, I pick thorns, and I pick weeds. And guess what? We're in the soil together. And that's where the magic happens. Don't shy away. Every time someone asks you to perform a task, and I'm just being transparent, if they give me one more thing to do, oh gosh, how come they're not asking Barbara? Linda's sitting right there. But all during the ranks, hindsight is always 20/20. When your leaders are coming to you and asking you to perform something, they see it before you see it. The vision is there. They're picking you, hand-picked. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Because you have the skill set. The cultivation has to be across all disciplines. You need everyone to affect change, to provide the crucial services for those folks that find themselves in our facilities. This is not a one-woman show. But being a woman in a position of leadership, you stay your course. You cultivate and you build across interdisciplines. That's that innate skill. We're communal by nature. But sometimes a weed will get in the way and say, hey, you better watch that one. She might be trying to muscle in. Who's saying that? Be sure, vision, cultivation, and support. How do we do that? Mentorship and coaching. That's some of the things we can recite, policy, chapter and verse, line for line. I can tell you what a period is. But what about coaching? What about mentorship? How do we bring others along and say, listen, I'm choosing you for this particular reason. Tell people why you're choosing them. They may have never heard that before. Coaching. There's a different way to handle that. When you go into a situation, you can maintain authority and have that quietness because you're a woman, that you bring that skill set. You're not going toe to toe. You can de-escalate like that once you know and own it. Again, coaching and mentorship, we have to really, really invest in that. And that's evident by the women that I see in the audience. It's not easy because some people will kick and scream. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't want this. But once you turn them loose and allow them to deal with a situation and they do it, you bring them back in, you do the debriefing, and they're like, wait a minute, I did do that. Coaching and mentorship. Now for my weeds, we've always done it this way. That number, 335 years since the first jail in Philadelphia, sticks in my mind. If I'm still doing what they did in 335 years ago, that's a sad situation. A sad situation. Corrections is evolving, and we have to evolve with it. And with that comes you heading into uncharted waters, where you may be at the helm on a shift, responsible for a satellite site, and you're the only one that gets it. But uncharted waters is the path to take. Why? Because we are in the people management business. We manage people who do not want to be with us. But it's maintaining the dignity and the humanity of the population as well as your workforce. You have to acknowledge it both ways. With those uncharted waters, the impact it will have on both the population and your staff. Those uncharted waters, there are going to be some nights when you stay up late. Did I make the right decision? Could I have done that well? By show of hands, if you agree with me, I'm going to out myself. How many are you your worst critic? I wrestle with that. Did I give my all? Did I do the right thing? Did I help the staff and did I help the population? Guess what? That's just one of the roles and responsibilities of being a commissioner. I don't take it lightly, but every day I get up, put on my uniform, and we start all over again to give all that I have to this field and the people that I serve. And that service is my rent that I pay to be in this position and to be a human being. Everyone's not going to agree with your uncharted waters, but you have to step in it. You can't keep tiptoeing. Oh, it's too cold. The temperature will never be right for you to take the next step, because you'll only be as comfortable as the temperature that you're familiar with. Sometimes you're in hot water, on a hot seat, testifying for your budget. Other times it's cold. Why are we offering the inmates this? Why do they need access to that? Guess what? You set the temperature. Wherever you're planted, you set the temperature. And it's up to you, again, coaching, mentoring, and reinforcing your vision. Lastly, it's accountability. We're accountable to the citizens of Pennsylvania. I'm accountable to the citizens in my community. I'm accountable to the taxpayers. I'm accountable to the staff. And I'm accountable for the population. Why? Because it starts with me. You have to accept and take ownership. Whatever assignment is given to you, regardless of where you are right now in your career path, take it. The next time someone approaches you and gives you another task, and as I said, oh, why didn't you give it to Barbara? How many Barbaras are in here? Are there any Barbaras? Any Lindas? I'm not picking on you. Those are just names that I always use. Accept it. Why? Because it's starting you on a career path. We don't always get to do what we want, but we're chosen for a specific work. And you're chosen to do that specific assignment. Don't shy away from it. Being a woman in corrections is a challenge on any given day. But guess what? You get up every morning and you keep on going. You start to develop the toolbox, the skill set. And every time you do something right, give yourself credit. And let other people acknowledge you. When someone gives you a compliment and says, job well done, just accept it. Just say thank you. This is what we do. Well, I just, gave it all I could. Accept it. You have a skill set. You just demonstrated that. All while maintaining a humble spirit. On the times you don't get it right, and you get a critique, and you get a debriefing, accept it. Take notes, and guess what? You have another opportunity to demonstrate that you can do it right the next time. That's the beauty of being a woman in corrections and using your skill set. You are not here by chance on this day in Pennsylvania at SCI Greatersford. If you think you are, it'll hit you later. Why? Because you've been chosen. And our job in this field is to mentor and cultivate all of you It's not just about one being in position. It's to see you pop up over there, in that county, in that state, in that jurisdiction, with that agency, working to serve the field of corrections. A lot of people will critique us and tell us how we should do our job. But one thing I'm quite sure as I'm standing here, everyone can't do corrections. Why? Because we go inside buildings with people that would prefer to be on the outside. We do it with dignity, respect, and fidelity. We ensure that staff are safe, inmates are safe, visitors are safe. And guess what? We do it 365 days a year. We get more done before FedEx over 3 shifts. In the wintertime, in the heat, in the spring, guess what? We get it done. And I hope that you just continue to excel, rise, and transcend corrections. God bless.